Hi, everyone. My name's Sarah. Before being saved, I found myself, as Pastor Dave states, highly religious but totally lost. My life was full of lies, deception, disobedience, addiction, foul language, lust, and overall corruptness. There was a deep void in my life, and instead of filling that with Jesus, I tried filling it with materialistic and worldly things. The hope that those worldly things will complete me overcame the want for Jesus to be the forefront of my life. Continuing my walk in corruptness, I was knocked to my knees time and time again, but instead of changing, I continued on and on in this destructive cycle I had built for myself. I thought I had finally hit rock bottom when I felt the only way to escape my sin was to take my own life. After my attempt, I was released from the hospital, and I believe the only way I was walking out of that hospital was by Jesus' grace and mercy, and I was ready to commit my life to Christ. However, once settled back into my everyday life, my addictions and sin continued to occur while I did nothing to resist it. I was still attending church and youth group regularly, but it wasn't genuinely impacting my life. However, on Palm Sunday, my family and I attended church that morning, and I got to witness a baptism from a young man who was giving his life to Christ because he had realized that nothing he did would ever save himself. He talked about how he had also tried taking his life, and I remember turning away so my family wouldn't see me crying, and instead of not being noticed, I met eyes with Pastor Dave, and he just smiled and pointed at me. As a child and now an older teenager, I had learned Romans 10:9, which reads, "If you declare with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved." Near the end of the service, we were seated, and I bowed my head and prayed to Jesus, telling him how I knew all along I was a sinner in need of a Savior, but I was now ready to admit to myself that the world would never complete me and commit my life to him because of Psalm 23:4. "Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me." After my salvation, I have been more dedicated to rebuilding the relationships I corrupted with my family and friends through honesty, accountability, and respect. I still sin and fall short, but I no longer look to the world to fulfill me. Instead, I want to look to Jesus because I know his work at the cross was for me and everyone else around me. One day, I want to be able to encourage and disciple others like so many have done for me.